And the way that our people taught our children was we taught them through games. So I introduced my daughter to a game called Bull and Toddler. It's basically a stick, a piece of leather with a spine of a deer on the end. And all she has to do is bring it back and forth and then up. So it just lands on the stick. Back and forth and then up. So it just lands on the stick. I told my daughter that she was not allowed to go outside until she got 10 sticks to the bone in a row. And my daughter did what all daughters know how to do from the moment they're born. Even daughters in this very room. All girls know how to make a certain little noise when you're told to do something you don't want to do. Go do your homework. Go clean up your room. Go do the dishes. Every single girl in this room goes like this. This is what my daughter did to me. She was in grade 2. She stood this big, her big brown eyes looked up into mine, and she went. And she said, only a little girl's voice can only say, she said, Daddy, I'm in grade 2. I should be allowed to do what I want. I should be allowed to stay until midnight on a weekend. I should be allowed to have chocolate, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And Daddy, I'm in grade 2. I have needs. I need cell phone. I told my daughter, no, you're not going outside until you get 10 sticks to the bone in a row. Back and forth and then up, so it just lands on the stick. Back and forth and then up, so it just lands on the stick. And then my daughter did what all daughters know how to do from the moment they're born. Even daughters in this very room. All daughters know that there's a certain mental look that you can give to your father where you know you can get away with pretty much anything. This look involves sticking out your lower lip and breathing as fast as you can, so fast as to surprise your feet. Stay on the floor. And you say, only a little girl's voice can only say, but Daddy, I promise I'll never ever do it again. Please, Daddy, please, take a little time. Please, Daddy, please, don't you love me? This is what my daughter did to me. She was in grade 2. She stood this big. Her big brown eyes were flashing like mine. And I knew that if I looked at my daughter, I would have to give in. So I'm looking anywhere but at my daughter. And my daughter was bouncing around going, please, 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 Daddy, please, please, please. And I said, no, you're not going outside until you get 10 sticks to the bone in a row. Back and forth until the bone just lands on the stick. Back and forth until it just lands on the stick. This is when my daughter realized her first surprise at getting her own way. I failed. She has one last option to choose from. She immediately falls onto her back. Her feet start to kick. Tears start to fly out of her eyes. As the temper tantrum ensues. She says, Daddy, Daddy, right now, Daddy, right now, Daddy, want to go outside right now, Daddy. Now this is when her mother looked in the room. Her mother looked in the room and she went, what are you doing? Man, I stuck up my chest. I stuck up my nose. I knew where my voice straight out is, and I said, I'm teaching our daughter some patience, Mom. And she looked at me and she said, yeah, good luck with that. And then just walked out the door. That's when my daughter realized the last chance to get her own way had just walked out that door. Mother was not going to save her. She nearly stopped crying, stood up, and said, only a little girl's voice can only say, fine, give it a game. And she put the game back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then she said, skip a game, hate this game, and then grade 2, she let do what I want. I had a cell phone. But eventually she cried. Eventually she got one stick to the bone and she said, Daddy, look, I got one. And I turned to her and I said, good for you. 9 more. And she went, and so eventually she tried. Eventually she got 3 in a row. This is the 4th. Has to start all over again. She gets 6 in a row. This is the 7th. Has to start all over again. She gets 9 in a row and misses the 10th. Has to start all over again. Now in reality, it's taken me 3 hours to get to this point, okay? So we're condensing it down for you just a little bit. Eventually she got 9 in a row. Eventually she gets number 10. And she says, Daddy, look, I got it. And I turned to her and I said, good for you. Now you can go outside and play. Now you have learned the skill of patience. Now you know to always use your words and never your fists when working with other people. Because if I have any more little boys come to my front door with tears in their eyes, saying you use your fists instead of your words, you know what you're going to have to do. And my daughter said, yes, we're going to get 10 sticks of bone in a row. And I said, no, if this happens again, you will not have to get 10. You'll have to get 40. And ever since that day, my daughter has always used her words and never her fists. My daughter is no longer in grade 2. She no longer stands this big. Now my daughter's in grade 9. Now she stands this big. But I still have little boys come to my front door. And they still walk away with tears in their eyes. Because my daughter stands at the door. I do. This game is called patience. You guys like that story? Here, find people useful in the thing called along.